Hello friends, I think this is the first time I'm going to interact with you in a live video mode where I'm appearing. Most of my videos would have a PPT and a voiceover, but this time I thought I can be more expressive and I can give you more content in a much more interactive way. Yes, what is the topic today? It's very simple and effective. Object-oriented programming concepts for interview readiness. That's it. I'm keeping it very simple and straight. We are going to learn some very fundamental but very important object-oriented programming concepts. I'm not going to type code, but I'll show you some phenomenal examples. The first topic that we are going to discuss is what is an object. In interview, this question comes quite often. What is an object? This is an object. I am an object. This chair, what I'm sitting, is an object. But how do you identify as an object? Very simple. It has got some behavior. It has got some attributes. It has got a name. It is a pen. It can write. It is blue in color. That's all. So we can call it an object. Group of objects collected together is called class. As simple as that. Now, the next topic is far more interesting. What is it? Access specifier. Private, public, unprotected. This is a very important object-oriented question. What is it? I'm going to show you with an example, which is nothing but my wallet. I have a wallet, and in this wallet, I have money, I have credit cards, debit cards, and all those cards available. So this wallet has got a lot of content inside. I hope you agree to it. Now, I'm going to keep it right on the road right now. I'm going to keep it on the road, which means it is public. Anybody can take it, anybody can access it. If I lose it, it's very simple. Anybody can access it and I cannot control the ownership there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and keep it in my trouser. So when I keep it in my trouser, can somebody access it? No. What is it called? It is called private. The contents, the variables, the functions, whatever I have inside this particular class when it's private is all belonging to me. I'm the owner for it. It's my right. I can only access, nobody can access it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it protected. So what do? I have an almirah here. I have a rack here. I'm going to keep this in the rack. I am shooting this video at my home. So this almirah or the rack is accessible by my son and my daughter. So only the inherited members can access this, and this is protected. You cannot access it, right? Only the people whom I have inherited can access. That is it. We are done with the private, public, and protected. You keep it in yourself, it is called private. Not even your son or daughter can access. You keep it, you lose it on the road, it's called public. You keep it protected in the almirah, it is called as protected. Now there is one special class there. I have it in my trouser, for example, right now. I have a very close friend for 20 years. Can he access this? Yes. So when you have a friend, the friend has got freedom to access even the private content. This is called friend function. Remember it, friends are having the highest priority, and it is no different in object-oriented programming. I hope you will remember this example for a long time. And the next topic that I'm going to talk about is inline functions. What is it? I'm going to show you again an example in a very intuitive way. Let's assume that this is the function that I'm going to call. Okay, I have a function, and this function is for addition of two numbers. I'm going to call this function. So what will I do? This function is residing, for example, somewhere here. I am the main function. I'm going to call the function, which means I'm going to go there. But while going, I need to carry the parameters. It is an add function, as I told you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add two variables, A and B. Assume that this paper is A, this paper is B. I'm going to take copy of these two, and I'll go all the way there. I'll transfer my control there. Addition will be done, and it will give me one result called C. The C is available right now, and I'll come back. Now I need to call that function again. So I'll go there again with the same copy. I'll do the processing. I'll have to come back. Right? Now I'm going to come back and I'll sit. Now if you go there for the next time, I need to do the same procedure. The time that I spend in navigation from here to there is much more than the time that I do the process. Do you agree? It's very simple. I'll have to transfer my control there. Program counter has to be updated with that address. And most importantly, these parameters have to be thrown there. There will be a computation that will be happening for addition of two numbers. The results would be available. Then the result has to be thrown back to the place from where it is called. The program counter has to be again updated with the correct address so that it can continue the flow. All these happen. Now if you call that function say about 100 times, you are wasting a lot of time in navigation and in transferring the control from here and there rather than processing. So it's waste of time, particularly in embedded systems. When you go for embedded systems, you require a real-time performance, which means you cannot waste time. I need all the operations to be done precisely on time every time. I have told this so many times in my other videos also. So real-time performance is what I require. So I cannot waste time in this navigation, in this transfer of control. So what do? Object-oriented programming languages including C++ provide you a facility called as inline function. Very simple. What I will do is, I'll take copy of this function. I'll copy paste that code in the main code itself, in the code from where we are calling the function itself. So I'll have this at 3-4 places wherever I'm calling. I need not go to the place and then call. I need not transfer the control and call. Instead, it will become very easy because I have everything here. Simple. This is called inline. Now, inline, is it an order to the compiler? No, it's not an order. You cannot order compiler. It's a request to the compiler. So you are requesting compiler to copy that content into the main code itself so that you will not waste time in the navigation for here and there. That's it. If you explain this way in the interview will be definitely impressed. So we are going to go to the next topic, which is again important. I hope you understood the inline functions and you can test the inline functions validity also in dev C++. When you have the dev C++ compiler, you can try a code with calling a function for 100 times without making it inline. You will get an execution time there. Make it inline and now call, you will get another execution time as the result, and both will be definitely different and the second one will be better. So that shows that inline functions are obviously faster. So remember this is a very important point when it comes to object orientation. This is a very important feature, in fact, that uplifts or upholds the validity of object-oriented programming languages. The next topic that I am going to talk about is polymorphism. It's very, very important again. Polymorphism is one of the very important features that really is a feather in the cap of object-oriented programming languages. So we have got two very important polymorphism types which I am going to talk about right now. The first one is operator overloading. Second one is function overloading. That's all. It's very simple and straightforward. I'm going to give you a simple example first for operator overloading. What is 5 plus 3? It is 8. Plus 3, it is 8. What is Sri plus Ram? Sri Ram. The plus is an operator which was working as a mathematical operator in the first attempt. The plus was an operator, it was working as a concatenation operator in the second attempt. We have the same operator doing different roles. This is called operator overloading. See out when you have the arrow less than arrow. That is an arrow which is used for a different purpose called as shifting. Now here it is used as output operator. We do not have so many operators available, and for that purpose we are overloading one operator with multiple tasks, and it is called operator overloading. In the interview, if you can say this way, they will definitely accept this answer. This is called operator overloading. You can use one operator for different purposes, and that's very simple, and that's called operator overloading, and it's one of the polymorphism features that you need to remember. Well, what is function overloading? Very simple. I have a function by name add, right? Can I have another function by name add in the same code? No, you cannot have. The reason is simple. Compiler will tell you that you cannot redeclare the function with the same name. It's like assigning memory twice for the same function. It's not permitted in C programming. When you come to object-oriented programming languages, it gives you a flexibility to retain the name of the function multiple times for different functions actually. How do I do it, sir? Very simple. I'll give you an example. Add is the function name. First time, I'm going to add two integers, a comma b. Second time, I'm going to add two float, c comma d. Third time, I'm going to add one integer and one float. It's all different, right? So the compilers, the object-oriented programming languages compilers understand this difference so beautifully, and what do is, they identify the difference in the functions not with the name but with the content, the parameters that you pass, and that's called function overloading. You have the same function name doing different operations, and that's called function overloading. It's a very nice feature. So we do not have the problem of thinking more about giving more different, multiple unique names, and we can have one name now, one function name now, and it can do rest of the task easily based on the parameters that you are passing. That's a very important point. So I hope you now understand what is operator overloading, what is function overloading, and both come under one dabba called as polymorphism. Now I have one more topic to be quickly discussed on this. I wish to make multiple videos in this particular domain, particular topic. So now this particular video will be over with this topic. I'll make quick another video so that you can really understand how exactly you can present yourself in object-oriented interviews. Now we are going. What is function overriding? Before I go to function overriding, it is very important for you to understand that most of the interviews ask you this question: what is the difference between function overloading and overriding? When it comes to object-oriented programming languages, this is one of the finest questions that you can answer easily. Function overloading, I explained you. Same function name but different contents inside, right? Same function name. Function overriding is slightly different. It connects to inheritance. We need to know what is inheritance. Very simple. My father is capable of writing. I am also capable of writing. My father wrote maybe jokes. I am writing technical books, that's all. So the writing ability has come to me from my father, that's inherited. But I can alter it and I can modify it the way I wish by giving my own content to it is called inheritance. I already have got some gifted feature. I am going to add some more features into it, and that becomes much more easier for me to adapt and to grow further, because it is difficult for me to develop it right from the beginning. Instead of you creating things from the scratch, if somebody gives you some good things, you can add on content to it, is what is called inheritance. There are 5 types of inheritances people say normally. Single inheritance, one parent, one child, single inheritance. Multiple inheritance, 2 parents, in the sense mother and father you can keep as reference, and there will be one child. Multi-level, grandfather, father and grandson, that's it. Hierarchical, father, first brother, second brother, third brother, that's it. Hierarchical. Hybrid, masala of anything can be called as hybrid. This is what is inheritance. So remember it, I have a base class, I can have a derived class. The contents and the features of the base class can all be derived into the derived class, which is nothing but the secondary class which we are deriving out from the base class, and this is called inheritance. Now, what is function overriding? I have a function in the base class, it prints I love India. I have the same function by default copied for the derived class. You have no change there, it will be by default copied. And there I say that I love India much more than anything else in my life. Simple. The content is already available. I am altering it to the way I wish, and that is called as function overriding. I have overridden the function which has been given from the base class to me in the derived class, and I handle it in a much easier way. This is called function overriding. I have told you about inheritance, I have told you about function overriding. Both are connected, and I hope you will remember it. These examples are very simple and this is very useful for object orientation, so do not forget it. I'll see you in the next video quickly with more examples and more real-time stuff for you to remember things easily towards the interview. I hope you like this session. If you have any comments, suggestions, inputs, please go ahead and type it in the comment section. If you like this content on the channel, please subscribe. If you have friends, please refer it to. Thank you.